Hey everybody. First video in about 6-7 months since my last PSA reveal. This time I've switching it up a little bit. I've got a SGC reveal. This is my first ever SGC submission. There was a few cards that I sent in my last submission to PSA that they would not grade. They didn't deem it as altered. They just wouldn't grade it. They actually used to grade them. I pleaded my case to them. They refused. At least they didn't charge me for it. So, I thought to myself, I'm going to give SGC a shot here. I decided to send these 3 cards to SGC along with a few others. This is going to be a total of 7 cards. So let's go ahead and begin here. I've already unboxed everything. I actually already looked at the grades as soon as I got the email online. I couldn't hold back. I can't do a blind reveal. So most of these cards are PC cards. So the first card that PSA would not grade for me is this guy right here. It's a 1984 Borden Reds. These came on perforated sheets. These cards are a little bit oversized. That's why it's in a larger holder. I was hoping they would fit it into a standard size holder, but it's just a little bit too big for that. Regardless, I wanted this thing slabbed. I sent in 2 of these. And honestly, I really didn't care what the gray was going to come back. I just wanted it in a slab. I was hoping for 8. I looked over these pretty well, but when it comes to cards that are perforated, and not only that, these are perforated stickers. The white that's around it is the white backing. The rest of this card is actually a sticker. One of these looked better than the other, and they both got a 7. This will be a PC card for sure, at least one of them. But one of them looked a little better than the other. There was one of them, and I can't see it really through this camera here. Actually, it's this one. Yeah, the sticker's fine itself. The problem is the white backing. I don't know. If you can look carefully, you see that slight ripple? There's a slight ripple right there on the white backing. I mean, it's not affecting the actual sticker. The actual sticker looks great. But this one, the white backing doesn't have that ripple. It's intact. I mean, if anything, actually, if you look carefully, it looks like the sticker. Actually, this one does have a... Actually, I do see it. Yeah, they both have it. Yeah, sure do. There it is. Anyway, they both got identical 7s. I missed one of these having that ripple. But, man, overall, I mean, I'm happy. These cards are very condition sensitive. PC card for sure. So let's move on. My next one. Yeah, man, this is a card that PSA would not grade. They didn't charge me for it. They just said they would not hold it or grade it or whatever. This is the 1991 Topps Cracker Jack quad cut. I like the quad cut because it makes it the size of a standard card. And man, this has got one heck of a tree of quad lineup here. We've got Tony Gwynn, Doc Gooden, Eric Davis, and Ken Griffey Jr. That's one heck of a card, man. Came back a 9. I pre-graded this at a 8.5. And it came back a 9. I was very happy with that. The edging's got just a slight bit of wear. A couple places, a slight bit of wear on the edge and on the back. The front looks really good. Corners look good. Edging, no surface issues, no pitting, no dents, no ripples. But man, I always thought this was a cool card, and I finally got it slabbed. Looks good in that SGC slab too, man. PC card. Absolutely. All day long. Here's one right here that was a slight disappointment. I pre-graded this at a 9. And again, it's a perforated card. This is Eric Davis's 1985 yearbook card. Came back a 6. And I've got about 4 of these copies. And I perforated. I tore these out myself. That's the joy of this card right here, man. You got to take the time to tear it out. It's not exactly a clean tear. And I think they really ding you, you know, if it's not clean all the way. And there's some spots on here. The card itself is immaculate. The card, the surface, the centering is just about dead on. The surface is just phenomenal. But what's so confusing, and you know what, I actually cracked this out. This was a crack and resubmit. This was originally submitted to PSA, and they gave it a 6 as well. SGC gave it a 6, so no argument there. You know, I mean, when you have two companies that agree on something, they see something. And I may have missed something on the surface, but my guess is the edging. And see, here's the thing. I've got a copy of this in a PSA 9. Same thing. I looked over it with a fine-tooth comb. I deemed this just as good as the 6. However, if you look at the perforation tear, it's not flawless. It might look a little cleaner than that 6. See down there? It's not quite a clean tear out. I guess, you know, it just really depends on who the grader is, what their standard is on these perforated cards. And I tell you, when it comes to perforated cards and hand-cut cards, there really seems to be no set, consistent grading pattern on them. You got one person that can say, hey, this is a 9. And then you got one person that says, hey, no, it's a 6. You know, so I'm just glad I got this in a 9. Yeah, so I'll probably hold on this for a while or sell it, throw it up on eBay. But man, it's really not far off from the 9 here. I mean, it's just the eye of the beholder. So anyway, taking too much time on that. Moving on to the next one. Here's a cool card right here. This is an 8.5. When I initially look at this card, I'm thinking, man, this thing is a gem. The corners are, I mean, man, the corners are so sharp. And these cards are so condition sensitive. The centering is just about dead on. That centering is, I mean, it's there. The edging's great. However, when you look at this card just right in the light, you can see some surface scratching. And there's an issue right here where my fingernail is. There's a little bit of white right there in the background. Slight surface issue right there. But I think the overall eye appeal of this card is what gave it an 8.5. I pre-graded this, you know, initially looking at it, I'm like, man, this is a 9 all day. But then when I looked at it carefully, I was like, man, this is probably an 8. But they gave it an 8.5. I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. This is a very tough card to get in a good grade, and I think an 8.5 in this card is very respectable. The OPG, very condition sensitive. This is a PC card. Oh, man. As a matter of fact, let me just put you right there. Put you right there. Yep. All right, here's a reholder. This was originally in the old SGC 96, the old label. Yeah, there's the old label right there. 1989 Upper Deck King Griffey Jr. This label right here just looks so much better. I'm glad I sent this off. And look, 98% of my collection's PSA. I've only got a few of these, and I decided to send this off to get it reholdered. This card is dead on center. It's immaculate. No issues whatsoever, with the exception of right here, right down in there, there's a slight issue with the edging. But this is a PC card. A biggie for me, man, is this hologram. This hologram is fully intact. I've seen so many of these cards where the hologram is so off center, it's shaved off, the top third of it is no longer visible. And man, I've seen so many of these slabbed in tins with that hologram just looking horrendous. But the hologram is fully intact on this. This is a PC card of mine. Yeah, looks so much better in that new holder. So yeah, PC card. And the last one, this guy right here. I pre-graded this with a good shot of getting a 10. Getting focused there. This is the Upper Deck 2004 LeBron James first pitch insert. It's the only card I know of that he has in a baseball. That's a baseball card. Came back in 9.5. I was happy with that. I definitely thought it was a really good shot at a 9.5 with a good chance at a 10. I felt really confident this would not get lower than a 9.5, and that's what it came back at 9.5. The front of this card is immaculate. No issues whatsoever. The issue with this card is on the back. And if you look really carefully, there's just a little bit of white on the edging right here. Just a little bit. Man, this thing really could have got a 10, I think. But either way, a 9.5 is very respectable. It's also a PC card. But man, overall SGC, I'm really happy, man. Door to door, it was 15 days altogether. Business days, it was 11. Their customer service is phenomenal. I think this is going to be a great alternative to PSA. I had a few questions before I submitted this order. I emailed them, and within 15 minutes, I got a response back. Very prompt. You know, I've got some more cards I want to get graded. I actually just sent a batch of 22 cards to PSA yesterday, and I've got some more I want to send off, but I'm going to wait to see how this batch goes. I'm not too happy with how PSA's grading is very inconsistent, and the thing of it is, it's like they got a stranglehold on a lot of people, and they know it. Like, for instance, you know, my example, most of my cards, 99% of my cards are in a PSA slab. I like the way they look, especially, you know, with Eric Davis being my favorite player. The Reds uniform, the Reds logo, it just really pops in the PSA case. Yeah, here we go. It just really shows up well. Just looks good. But man, PSA, their grading is just so, it's just kind of everywhere right now. The thing about SGC is the way I look at them, and from the experience I'm looking at here, you know, when they grade it, you know, that's what the grade is. Fair and consistent across the board, no matter who the customer is. Just a good, fair, honest grade. No pop control, whatever you may hear about PSA, and I truly believe there's certain cars that PSA grades with a lot more scrutiny, not consistently versus other cards. And so anyway, we'll see how this batch goes, and I'll have a video coming up soon, hopefully in about 6 weeks. See how it goes, but thanks for tuning in.